you always think your feet are going to hold you up all the time. We've been in occupations when we've been standing on our feet for hours and hours and hours on end, and you don't think about it, do you?
No.
Until the day my hammer toe popped up, and I thought my life was going to end. It was awful. I didn't know what it was, and bang-o, and then everything changed. Do you know, it took me, because my feet really changed after 3 children, they certainly changed, and then the hammer toe, that it took me years and years and years to finally admit that my shoes had gone a whole size bigger. And I was always buying a particular size of shoe because I was too embarrassed to buy the biggest size because my feet are quite big anyway, quite long. And it took, I'll say it took me a long time to go from a size 8.5 to a size 9.5 in my shoes. I wouldn't admit it. So I was always buying small shoes because I couldn't believe that my feet grew. I had no idea that my feet would spread like that. And of course now...
But did you wear high heels as a younger person?
I did. Well, not all the time, certainly not all the time, but I loved to wear high stilettos.
No, I never did. I was one of those sensible people who wore lace-ups from school and went lace-ups from nursing. And because I am tall, you know, and you're out going partying, you had to make sure that you weren't taller than the guys. I never wore high heels.
Okay. Well, my boyfriend at the time, my husband was 6'4", and so when in the 70s, when I would wear my 4-inch corks, those cork heels. No, John used to wear 3-inch. 3-inch. We were 6 feet and 6'7". And we thought we were fantastic because we were strutting along, and we stood out.
That's why I married Lee, because he was tall. Or he's tall.
Yes, he's right.
He's 6'4.5".
There you go. So you can wear your high heels.
But I never get, and I can't walk in them, and my feet just aren't comfortable in them. And I've had lots of surgery on my feet, and so I'm not prepared to. I'm happier in flat shoes.
Yeah, me too. And I don't care now. I mean, I don't mind. But the good thing is, remember the old ladies' flat shoes that that they were the only shoes that older women could get, and they were lace-ups or big, thick rubber soles. And at least now, there's some fantastic brands out there.
Absolutely.
We can get some shoes. Even heels. I was in an occupation where I had to wear heels for a little while as a celebrant, and I found that and I found that there were some really good brands of good shoes that supported your feet, and you could get decent heels. And I thought, okay, I put them on the other day and walked around for a while in them just to.
And what were they like?
I'm not used to them anymore, but it was all right. Actually, I felt nice and tall again.
And I think it's important that our feet are good, because if your feet are sore, you don't tend to walk and you don't tend to do things, and that's not good for you. So I think you need to get your feet checked, go to a podiatrist, even treat yourself to a pedicure every so often.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just so that it's nice to have all that stuff done to your feet, which is sort of relaxing. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. Come on up.
You're going to behave yourself now?
Come on.
You go to Mum.
Yeah.
I don't want you biting me.
No.
Because I was reading somewhere about the fat pads on the bottom of our feet.
Did you even know we had fat pads till you read about it? No, me neither.
I've got lots of fat pads, but particularly on my feet.
That's right.
That, you know, over the years after you've had kids, after you've done the sort of work that we did, we're sort of really giving our body a battering. So I think it's important that if you go, I'd go walking, that you make sure you've got good shoes, good supportive shoes for that. I think it's really important that we're mindful of our feet, because they've got to carry us around for a long time.
Absolutely.
There are people who just don't do anything because their feet are sore.
Yeah, that's it. And they stay home. That's it. They're housebound because of it. That's for sure. You know what I notice now is that at the beginning of the day, when the fat pads must be, these are really the only fat pads in our whole bodies that
we rejoice over.
We're sad they've disappeared because we can't walk properly. Because the bones change in your feet. I feel like when they have, I know I can see it. The bones have actually changed shape in my feet over the years. And so in the morning, when the fat pads must be nice and plump, I can walk fine. I'm walking through town and I feel fine. Within 2 hours, I thought, I'm beginning to walk really flat-footed, even if I have orthotics or something in there. And I can feel a difference. Is that right? Yep, and I've got to stand up straighter, and I've got to walk, pick my feet up and walk much more carefully after a few hours because you can trip. If you don't lift your feet up, you can.
Absolutely. And I've noticed since I've been going back to the gym that I am lifting my feet up better, because I had a tendency to have a few falls.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Scary.
Well, it is. I resorted to getting some walking poles so that I could walk. Not because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I don't now because I've got Charlie and I can't cope with a pole and a
is
dog.
Charlie your husband or your?
He's my beloved dog. So I don't tend to walk with them now, but they gave me great confidence because I had a couple of good spills. Came home all grazed and things like that.
That must have been scary.
Well, it was.
You must have been frightened.
Yeah, I was. Because I could trip over a leaf.
That's what I mean. You over
don't,
nothing.
Yes, and you don't pick your feet up. So when I got the poles, I felt good, and I actually did some Nordic walking for a while, and that was really good.
Fantastic.
But I don't use them now because I've got a dog, and I don't stumble. Do you? Now I don't stumble now like I did.
No, not since I've started to learn to walk, to lift my feet.
Yeah,
and that's a big and heel toe.
Well, I don't even know that I do that, but I just lift my feet up better now. So do you have to get up in the night much? That's a blunt question.
Only when I feel like. Usually once a night. But I really love walking around in bare feet. That's what I do all the time. I've got a friend who cannot walk in bare feet. Will not walk in bare feet. Absolutely. And I was thinking, how on earth did she then get up, slip out of her bed and go to the loo in the middle of the night? You have to fossick around and find your slippers. Well, usually you're busting, aren't you, in the middle of the night if you've got to go? So I was wondering, you think you must, surely it must be. So
just from her bed to the toilet, she can't
even do that. No.
I can't walk outside anymore. I used to.
Oh, I can.
Can you? No. My feet have got very soft over the years. I can walk on the pavers and the grass, but not on pebbles or stuff like I used to.
Oh, maybe not pebbles. My granddaughter can walk on pebbles.
Yeah, well, my grandkids can too, but no, those days are gone. I don't tend to walk around the house barefooted. I do. If I get up during the night to go to the loo, I do, but I can't. I'd hate to not be able to get up and just go to the toilet that way.
Yeah, and have to think about it.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine that if you really had to run to the loo and you were someone who didn't walk well with bare feet, you could easily fall. And I think that's
or wet yourself.
I was just going to think you fall and wet yourself at the same time once you fall. Yeah, that's the thing.
And things falling in the bedroom, because bedrooms are usually sort of a bit not spacious, and there's edges to fall on and stuff like that that you can.
It's just one more thing to think about, isn't it? So. Anyway, I try and walk in my bare feet as much as I possibly
with socks.
can.
No, you wouldn't. Would you wear them socks or just walk?
Just bare feet. Even out in the cold concrete, if I want to go up the dog and then early in the morning, because I can't feel it anymore.
Well, I must admit, when Charlie gets to bark at the possums, I go out there in my nightie and bare feet.
Yes, all right. and you can. I mean, thank goodness that we can.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
But I don't wander around home in bare feet, well, especially not in the winter. I don't. But you can do exercises and stuff for your feet.
That's another thing which is fantastic, and that's from going to exercise class and realise that when your feet get so sore, there's stuff you can do at home. Even if you have there's the dogs have got bowls around the house, don't they? So even a dog's bowl is fantastic to roll. Dogs bowls.
Any male dogs in the house.
Female dogs in this house. So the dog's toy. Even with the dog's toy, you can even grab a vibrator and you can.
With the rolled up socks though that you were talking about, how do they work?
If you roll them in a bowl,
yeah,
and a really tight bowl, and sometimes
just roll your feet on them.
Yeah, roll your feet on them and back and forth over them. And it's fantastic. I've actually got a spiky bowl that I got for the dog. I love that, the spiky one. I love it.
I've got one of those, but then when Charlie sees it, he gets so excited, so I had to hide it. Well, so I can't use it. But a Coke bottle with some water in it is really good. That's when I had plantar fasciitis. That was really good to roll your feet on the cold Coke or, any drink bottle
Yeah.
for that matter.
Put it in a water bottle, put it in
Yeah,
the freezer, and that's
just to
that would
roll
be
your feet
fantastic,
over.
Yeah.
And just crunching your toes.
Yeah. Well, you can pick up things, can't you? Like I used to.
No, I can't
well, I used to-
anymore because I've had filleted toes.
I've never filleted with it. Do you have that with that? Soy sauce. Do you want fries with that? Anyway. So yeah, but I remember even when I was younger, they're saying if you pick up
marbles,
your marbles, or even
marbles.
a scarf or something like that with your toes is a really good thing.
That's
so there's stuff
something
around the
they
house.
used to say for flat feet, pick up marbles.
That's right. Yeah, we used to tell kids that in school.
I've got a sock at home that I've filled with marbles, and I must admit that I have rolled my feet on that. I haven't thought about it for
That's
ages.
actually great.
Yeah,
It feels so good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I'll get it
And
out.
I'm going to make one too.
Yeah.
If I can find some marbles.
Wow.
But I guess the whole point is that we don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of expensive equipment.
no,
There's so much stuff around
And
the
even
house.
walking on sand, that's really
Yeah.
good for your feet. To crunch on sand to do things.
Absolutely. One thing that I heard about was that if you just throw a towel on the ground and then you start crunching it with your feet,
Your toes.
Yeah, with your toes, you crunch it right up, and you don't have to bend down and pick it up. So if you're someone who isn't very bendy yet, then you can do that, and it's fantastic for your feet. And it's big enough you can do it with both feet. That's great.
And I really think we have to respect our feet because they've got to carry us for a long way, and they've carried us through kids, and they've carried us through fat and not so much thin, but through work and all those sorts of things.
And they carry a heavy load, don't they?
Yeah.
When you think of your little feet and the heavy load they've carried, they've done a good job. You've done a good job, feet, over all these years.
Because with your knees, is it your knees or your back, whatever you pick up, it's twice as much lift on your back. So I wonder what it's like for your feet. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You pick up a weight and you pick up, say, 2 kilos, and that for your back makes it 5 kilos or something. What's that do for your feet? I don't know if there's a formula for that. There's bound to be.
There probably is.
Yeah, there's bound to be. But no, my feet are good. But I've had bad years, but as I say, I've been filleted, and all's well with the world.
That's good.
Mm.
Well, aren't we lucky?
But
and so far we're lucky. So and I guess the thing is that I can remember we were talking the other day, and what you said I thought was really interesting. You said we can choose to be proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely.
With our bodies right now, because things are changing. They're changing all the time, aren't they?
I almost got frequent flyer points going to Calvary with my feet because I was back there so much. But once all that was sorted, it was right.
And at the time, you probably think they're never going to be okay. I thought that was my hammer toe. I was never.
Did you have that operated on?
No, I didn't. But I had to learn to manage it, and then had to learn to sort of settle for it. So and also fit into the shoes I still wanted to fit into. So we had a bit of a chat for a few years. My hammer toe and I, just to get back to normal. As normal as it. But it was a new normal.
That's the whole thing. It's the new normal stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have to make
transition, isn't it?
Sorry, Lola.
From as we get from youth to middle age to older, it's all okay, but sometimes it takes longer than others to get used to the new normal. And then
I think that's what it's all about, the new normal. And you don't even sort of think it, if you've got a mindset that you're just going to go on regardless, that then you find ways and means, I think.
Absolutely, you do. There's ways that we can cope. I always think that everything is doable, and we can cope with anything. We just got to think about it for a while. And I'm very conscious that we are lucky at the moment, both of us, in our health right now. To right this moment today, we're lucky that we can find ways around things, and there will, could come a time when we're not so lucky that our choices become more limited. But I will always believe that we've got a choice.